I'm actually not trying to be an asshole. Who is that? Because that is somebody's grandfather. That is an old man. That is a tired man. Like, that's a big difference.
Gypsy Rose was featured on TV again recently, and y'all, you will not believe what it is for.
Get it up here.
I did.
But let's get to it. Category is famous criminals. Identify these well-known people who have been arrested. And by the way, one of your states is going home. So, let's get at it. Let's do it. Remember to breathe. Okay.
The lawyer's going to be more aggressive, so I'm going for her.
Yes.
This is Lisa. Yeah. Lisa, I'm trying. Close your cover. She might pull it off. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Menendez brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what I love more. The fact that she was featured in between OJ and the Menendez brothers, the fact that they acknowledge she's a criminal, or the fact that she's so unpopular, they didn't know who the hell she was. It makes me wonder if this is why Gypsy Rose was recently over on Wikipedia trying to get her thing changed. She wanted it to no longer say that she was known for the unaliving of her mother, but instead she wanted it to read that she was an American author who was a victim of Munchausen by proxy, which resulted in Wikipedia blocking her account, and adding that Dee Dee was never formally diagnosed with fictitious disorder, also known as Munchausen. Oh, and they went ahead and added her 1Q21.1 microdeletion on her Wikipedia. All I gotta say, Gypsy, is it sucks to suck. I couldn't imagine being placed in between the Menendez brothers and OJ and people still not knowing who the fuck I am.
The internet is once again losing its collective mind over Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And honestly, she might be enjoying every second of it. Because just when people thought she'd settled down for good with her partner Ken Iyer, Gypsy decided to drop a post so emotionally loaded, fans couldn't tell if she was ending things or planning a love story reboot. It all started with this poetic, heart-on-the-sleeve caption about learning from mistakes, choosing love again, and starting over intentionally. The kind of post that makes you stop scrolling and go, wait, did they break up? The writing had breakup energy written all over it. Pain, reflection, hope, nostalgia, all tied together with a hint of romantic guilt. Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit lit up overnight with people dissecting every line like it was a hidden message from the most dramatic relationship saga of 2025. Then, 24 hours later, Gypsy and Ken popped up on Instagram Live looking very much together, smiling, teasing, calling each other babe, and acting like nothing had ever gone wrong. Fans went from confused to straight-up suspicious. The energy felt a little too polished, almost like they were auditioning for cutest couple on social media 2025. The highlight of the live? Gypsy holding up what she called her Christmas photo dress. Except this wasn't just any dress. It looked like the love child of a gingerbread man and a holiday sweater. Gypsy asked Kenny if she should wear it, and he froze. You could practically see him calculating his response like it was the SATs. He stammered something about earth tones and maybe going for green instead, and she wasn't having it. No, I want to know if you think it's cute, she insisted. The poor guy looked like he was decoding a bomb, not a dress choice. Viewers were cracking up in the comments, calling the whole exchange peak couple awkwardness. Some said the live felt like a performance, that Gypsy was trying to prove to everyone that she and Ken were still solid. Others thought it was her way of steering the narrative after that mysterious post had people convinced she was single again. Either way, mission accomplished. Gypsy had everyone talking. But if that wasn't enough for 1 week, then came Halloween. The self-proclaimed costume queen shocked fans by not dressing up. Yes, the same Gypsy Rose who loves cosplay and themed outfits skipped the one holiday that practically screams her name. And her excuse? She said she wanted Ken and baby Aurora to take the spotlight. Ken showed up as Forrest Gump, Aurora was a literal shrimp, perfect movie reference, not gonna lie, and Gypsy, she showed up in a Nightmare Before Christmas sweatshirt, cobweb leggings, and that wig. The one that fans roasted mercilessly online. Some viewers joked it looked like it had served time.
Others claimed it was giving Halloween at the gas station. Even Gypsy's most loyal followers couldn't defend that hairpiece. Her reasoning that she didn't want attention didn't exactly convince anyone either, because that decision ended up drawing even more attention. Fans were baffled. Why would someone who loves the spotlight suddenly take a back seat? Unless it was all part of a bigger plan to keep people guessing. And listen, just when everyone thought the Gypsy Rose and Kenny saga had hit its peak, boom, new chapter, unlocked. Because apparently, Gypsy decided that if people were going to talk about her, she might as well take control of the narrative. And how did she do that? By allegedly editing her own Wikipedia page. Yes, her own page. The internet is still gagging. So here's how it went down. A few eagle-eyed fans noticed some sketchy little updates showing up on her public bio, and not the usual factual ones like adding a new date or correcting a typo. We're talking deeply specific, low-key defensive edits. Stuff like Gypsy did not cheat on her husband, and the relationship with Ken officially began after legal separation. Convenient timing, right? And the strangest part, the writing didn't sound like a random editor. It sounded like Gypsy herself typing from her notes app with a vengeance. Within hours, Reddit threads and TikTok sleuth were connecting the dots, comparing IP records, screenshotting every edit before it got scrubbed. It was pure internet chaos. People were joking that Gypsy's not just the main character, she's the writer, director, and social media manager for her own drama. One viral comment said she's her own PR team at this point, and she doesn't even charge herself a fee. Honestly, not wrong. It's kind of iconic and tragic at the same time, because if anyone knows how to keep her name in everyone's mouth without even trying, it's Gypsy. And the funniest part? This all happened right when people were starting to chill on the breakup rumors. Like things had finally calmed down, everyone moved on to the next celebrity meltdown, and then Gypsy said, nope, not on my watch. That's when the alleged self-edits dropped, reigniting the whole conversation. It's like she couldn't stand not being the main topic. Meanwhile, that family photo with Ken and baby Aurora resurfaced again, and people are still arguing about whether it's real or AI generated. Multiple people swear they saw them in person at a church festival, so yeah, the photo's real. But that didn't stop folks from clowning the vibes. Kenny looked like he hadn't slept in days, Gypsy looked like she was trying way too hard to project domestic bliss, and baby Aurora was the only one truly unbothered, just vibing like, I didn't ask to be part of this storyline. And that's the thing, the whole situation just feels heavy. Like Gypsy's learned exactly how to keep people obsessed with her. The teasing, the cryptic posts, the half-truths, but there's an exhaustion to it now. Every time she laughs or goes live, it feels calculated. Kenny plays along, but anyone watching can sense the tension bubbling underneath. It's giving performing happy couple for the algorithm energy. And that's where it really starts spiraling, because this Wikipedia glow-up stunt wasn't just midnight mischief, it was full-blown PR surgery gone rogue. Allegedly, the edits came from an account named something like Gypsy Rose Blanchard 272. Be serious. That's not even subtle. It's like walking into a disguise party with a name tag that says, "Hi, I'm totally not Gypsy." The whole thing went down around 1:30 in the morning, prime time for TikTok doom scrolling and late night overthinking, not rewriting history. But apparently, Gypsy had other plans. She didn't just adjust a few dates or fix her grammar, she went turbo mode. Gone were the crime details, the legal records, the ex-boyfriend connections. Poof, just deleted like it was an old Facebook post she didn't vibe with anymore. In place was a shiny, self-curated, motivational speaker version of her life story. Suddenly, she wasn't the woman who pled guilty to murder, she was an author, a public figure, and a survivor of prolonged medical abuse. The makeover was so dramatic you could practically hear inspirational background music playing. But here's where it gets wild. She allegedly tried to erase her entire marriage to Ryan Anderson, too. Yes, the same Ryan who went live during their breakup, crying and spilling more tea than a Starbucks in rush hour. She really looked at that chapter and said, delete. Like, ma'am, the internet has archives. We saw that meltdown in 4K. And if that wasn't bold enough, then she apparently scrubbed the legal sources and replaced them with vague emotional language. Gone were the court documents, the official timelines, anything that tied the crime back to real records. In came survivor journey narratives about healing, trauma, and resilience. It was giving inspirational influencer starter pack. But Wikipedia isn't Instagram. They don't play. Every tiny keystroke on that site leaves digital fingerprints. Within hours, moderators notice the chaos, hit revert faster than you can refresh a page, and lock the entry entirely. The edit logs went public, Reddit detectives jumped in, and oh, the screenshots. Endless. People were highlighting her deleted lines in red, her new edits in green, like it was a forensic investigation. One viral post summed it up perfectly: you can't Control-Z your way out of murder, bestie. And honestly, the audacity was kind of impressive, but also deeply delusional. Like, who wakes up at 1 in the morning and thinks, you know what would really fix my public image? Erasing my husband and my felonies? The internet was cackling. Some called it damage control, others labeled it full-on gaslighting, but everyone agreed it was pure Gypsy chaos at its finest. Now, as for why she even tried this little PR heist, the theories are endless. Some fans think it's mom mode panic, like she's gearing up to start a normal life and doesn't want her baby Aurora growing up Googling murder plot before learning to read. Fair, but also Wikipedia isn't the place to start over. Others say the move screamed desperation, a last-ditch effort to revive her fading redemption arc. Remember, for a while after her release, Gypsy was everyone's comeback darling, the complicated anti-hero who overcame abuse. But lately, that halo's sliding. Big true crime creators are quietly distancing themselves too. One major YouTuber even admitted she got it wrong and pulled an entire Gypsy segment from her channel after hearing from news sources that contradicted the original story. That's a huge deal in the online world, and definitely not great news for Gypsy's image. So yeah, maybe the late-night wiki stunt was her way of yanking back control, keeping that survivor narrative alive when the sympathy's starting to slip away. But instead of a power move, it read more like panic mode, like she hit edit on her life because the audience stopped clapping the way they used to. Yep, reports are surfacing that Gypsy could have a real, documented chromosome disorder, something that might explain at least some of the symptoms her mom claims she had. If that turns out to be true, it completely upends the narrative. Suddenly that whole "it was all fabricated" angle gets messy. If there was even a sliver of truth to her mother's claims, Gypsy's carefully constructed victim storyline starts looking a lot shakier. And for someone selling redemption and survival, that's a major PR nightmare. So when she allegedly jumped onto Wikipedia to crank up the abuse survivor triumphs over evil mom angle, it stopped looking inspiring and started looking strategic. Almost desperate, honestly. Like she's clinging to the last lifeboat of public sympathy before it sinks. But here's the catch. This move completely backfired. Because now anyone Googling her doesn't see her redemption arc first.